So how does this work? During an order request, the customer sends messages. Uh, why is okay. I didn't realize that is separate. Apparently, I have a separate dedicated library. I think that's a good idea. So we'll have a customer messaging specification. The separate. Now, how does that look? Hold up. Yeah, okay. We'll call it customer messaging. What do we call the courier? Courier.messaging. Yeah, okay. Specification. Meantime. What's that dude's name, man? What's his name? What's the what's his name? What's that the SignalR creator's name? Dave Fowler. Customer messaging specification. All right, we're going to base that off of this right here. And we take these data transfer. Customer messaging. It doesn't know what a token is. Order request specification. I guess it makes sense. So then I could say that this token is that right there. And I should probably start decorating this stuff. For your message. Like that. Uh, uh, okay. All right. So it's right here. I want to go for a motorcycle ride. Since since I've been back to Miami, I I find it very challenging to put in 12-hour days just because I'm not in quarantine and just because I pretty much live on the strip. And there's always action outside. And I'm an outdoors person. Like up in Canada, like everything's on lockdown. I'm in the suburbs. I'm surrounded by elderly residential neighbors. It's not really much action going on outside, but down here it's like I, I'm home. I mean, it's my home away from home, born and raised in Cleveland, but it's like, man, I find it hard to just dedicate an overwhelming amount of time just focused on writing code because I feel like it's just so much going on out here that I just like enjoying the outdoors and living life before my time gets clocked. All right, so what else I gotta do? I gotta add these field properties. Try to say my time gets punched. All right, so this incremental updates. Just keep doing it. I've been building this casually for 2 years now, and it's casually starting to materialize. Maybe I could casually drum up some passive income. It's still a win-win. I mean, I still have acquired significant domain knowledge and vendor technology experience with Azure Service Bus, Azure Storage Table. So it's like even if there's a high likelihood that my shoot, why did I do that? Even though there's a high likelihood that what I'm building gets ignored, no one downloads it, it's not useful, I still have hella content to give conference talks on and to hopefully earn a lot more income just because I'm, I've built something that most people haven't built. I can honestly say I built a mobile order fulfillment system single handedly. Like who can really say that? Like how many people? All right, it makes me want to dig up the video I had with Sean in which I declared that that was what I was going to build. Okay, one more. So we did all that. We can probably copy paste all this and dump it into our right there. Why was it complaining about subject? That's weird. Uh, why is it complaining about subject? Because everything's off by one line. Okay. So with the courier, message to courier, courier messaged. So courier message probably is in, I don't know if it's, I'll leave this stuff alone. Customer has all this. Let me call this data transfer. Add another library called operations. Um, and I feel like this order request probably would. Zero 04 messaging. Then maybe we could get rid of this right here. Okay. So operations. Will look something like this. Customer messaging. And that will come after the open. Come back. Open data transfer. Yeah, that should be recognized. I did this right. It should be recognized. Yeah. I don't know if I spelled that wrong. Oh, because I'm missing the T. It doesn't know what error description is. Let's see. Nope. Type. Type. Error description. String. Okay. Like, and so this is to courier, and it's customer to courier message. Customer to courier message. Okay. Now, And there will probably be one called receive message. No, well, no, I don't think so. It'll be a notification, which means that there will probably be an Azure topic listener. Okay. Um, this whole order request thing. I feel like this should probably be extracted out. Probably have a separate library called notifications. First, let's make sure we can build everything. All right. So my builds. Let's edit messaging specification. And then what I want to do is I want to separate notifications from order requests. So this would be 04. This would be 05, and then we would have a 03 notifications. Okay. And so that would have at the bare minimum, it's going to have a data gateway. I don't know if I'll go through the ceremony of notifications. Data gateway. Okay. And so what this is going to do is it's going to take the order requests subscription target. That's fine. But it needs subscription info. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. So subscription info and filter. Yeah, okay. So there's going to be a spec. This is fun. All right. This is going to be fun. All right. Hold up. So we'll add another library. This is fun. This is what I get into, right? All right. We'll add another library called notifications dot specification. Do that. And this will be data transfer. What we want to do is we just want to copy paste this row. It should be like module. This will say data transfer. And then we'll have something like this. Okay. So then you're going to have a reliance on the notifications piece, specifically that. And okay. If we go back to our data transfer, we should see everything that we wrote. First, make sure that our notifications spec builds, and it doesn't. It doesn't build because this specification packages F sharp 5.0. I got to upgrade my F sharp, maybe. I don't even know what that was. Oh, I don't even know what I did. Hold up. And we're getting into trouble here. Okay, so what did I do? What's the difference between specification versus order specification? Hold up. What is going on? Hold up. This is back for right now. Unload. Specification. Unload everything. Hold up. Unload data gateway. Specification should build. I re-included it. That looks like it'll build. Let's check this in for right now so we have a clean slate to revert back to. And it looks like it still won't build. Okay. How does this work? Hold up. Order requests. Spec. How does this work? What is this? .NET 2.0. And what is my notification spec? .NET Core. Oh, okay. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I don't understand. Why is it? Do that. Do that. Okay. We should be straight now. No, let me build. Hold up. Okay. It's on label. Now, see if I can do this again. Coming out this here. Okay. So then theoretically, I should be able to say open notifications dot data transfer. Next is notifications data gateway. Reload that. And so within the notifications data gateway, so one, we should have a folder called specification. Okay. And so then within our data gateway, we should, I don't know what the thing's complaining about. It's all about F sharp. Okay. Yeah, we should now be able to do this. And it's like, no. Okay. So, not sure what that's about. But this whole topic thing, this logic should now have a dependency on notifications. So that should get resolved. Oh, yeah, and I guess we should say open notifications dot data transfer. Okay. But then it says topic not defined. I don't know. What is this? No query is found. What structure is it trying to create? I thought this was a subscript. String is not the, really. All right, so really, so this is where we close the customer app and relaunch it. Okay. Control Shift B, figure out what's broke. What is this? And it's like it doesn't know what a topic is. Topics description connection string filter. Topics description connection string filter. So this should be open notifications dot data transfer, and that should go away. And it does. So then it has some other issues. Let me see who's joining. So we can say that in which our test needs to reference our notifications spec. What is that error? I can't catch it. Hold up. I don't think there is an error, dude. Rebuild. Clean. So Adam was saying that if this builds and we do another check-in, okay, so that finally builds. Partial support for notifications. Library. Okay, so next we want to migrate. How does this work? We did a spec and we had the data transfer stuff. And now we want to add some other things. So your subscription target is nothing but a structure. I feel like that goes in a data gateway. So we'll move this up here. Change the namespace to notifications data gateway. But then it cares about, oh yeah, the data gateway needs to have a reference to spec. Okay. And then there's this create topic that we're going to migrate to. I don't even know what we put this under. Probably utilities, right? So notifications. And apparently this F# class library is not. We need library. If we say next, oh, what's up?
I'm good. I'm good. What are you up to?
Um, I'm doing some refactoring.
Oh, okay.
Uh, um, let me. I guess I could stop sharing my screen for right now.
Okay.
Oh, since I came back to Miami, I'm struggling to put in the same amount of hours that I was putting in when I was in
So,
Canada because there's so much action out here, like just outside the beach,
mm,
motorcycle and
no,
everything.
yeah.
Um, so I was at y'all got Denny's in Nigeria?
No, of course not.
Y'all just have like McDonald's.
No, we
You
have
don't?
we just have KFC, I guess. Um,
That's funny.
yeah.
Out of all of the American chain restaurants, you guys make sure you have the chicken chain.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Okay.
much. We have knockoffs as well, but yeah, I think it's just KFC we have here. I don't know if McDonald's is here. I really doubt that, but yeah, I know KFC is the one that I've seen quite a bit. So,
Yeah, I thought McDonald's was global. Like when I lived in the Philippines, they have all the chain restaurants, and but instead of serving fries like French
mm,
fries, they serve rice. That's the only
mm,
difference. So
mm, that's strange. That's quite strange.
yeah, so like my thought process was like I gotta hire a virtual assistant. They get notified that an order's been placed, and this virtual assistant they have to be cheap, right? So they're probably like in Pakistan or India or something. Um, some like very very like cheap labor, and so like one or two of them will get like a notification, and they would like have to go to the website and programmatically or not programmatically manually like type in the order, and it's like very error prone, and I would have to like get a notification that they put in the order, but then I would have to give it a final okay only if I was available. If I'm not available, then it just goes through. And like,
Mm,
I mean, it was a cost of just trying to push through. And like I said, it's gonna be hella error prone. And the last thing I want to do is refund a customer's order, right? Just
mm,
because the order is wrong. And then I was at like Denny's having breakfast yesterday, and I was asking them like, do I have to go through their corporate office, or can I establish a partnership with them to deliver food across the street at the beach? And they're like, no, you have to go through something called Olo Rails. And I'm like, Olo Rails? Olo sounds familiar, right?
mm,
Um, and so and they said, and he was telling me like even Uber Eats, in order for Uber Eats to do business with this chain restaurant, Denny's, they had to go through the this Olo Rails system. And I'm like, and he was telling me how like he was telling me how Uber Eats felt like they shouldn't have to go through somebody else's like ordering system or POS system, some third party POS system, that they should be able to work directly with Denny's because they're Uber, right? And they said,
Mm-hmm.
and so the restaurant refused unless they complied with their third party POS system that connects to their system. And
Mm.
so then I looked it up, and it looks like it's exactly what I need. I just hope that the billing is per transaction fee, and they're not treating me as some like big company in which I have to pay like an annual subscription, in which it's very. I mean, I'll be honest,
Mm.
like there's a high probability that the app isn't even discoverable, you know. So
Yeah.
I just don't want to. But that appears to be the answer to my solution is like, so this Olo Rails supposedly is kind of like I'm not sure if I'm using the right term, but like a portal that many restaurants go through, and they IPO'd like I think like a month ago, right? Um,
Mm.
in the stock market, they IPO'd, and so they have some relevance, and so apparently like there's a number of restaurants that use their portal in order to satisfy um, pickup and delivery through third party applications
Mm.
as an alternative to going through their website, even, and they may not even have a website, right? And so it
Mm.
looks like that's what I need.
So how is the delivery done? Does the Olo Rails have like delivery built in, or is it like they send you a notification to come pick up or something like that?
If I share my screen and go to their website, the part that I care about is programmatically placing an order. Like that's what I care about. But it looks like, hold up for a second. Rail. Okay, there is a more cosmetically.
I think it's the very first link, the
Yeah,
olo.com.
yeah, that's an
Yeah.
ad. I try not to click on the ads just to save the money.
Oh,
You don't care?
I honestly don't care. Whatever is fastest for me.
So like I care about the ordering part. And so they provide like an API to connect to different restaurants to place an order, and that order will just show up in that restaurant's like pipeline instead of
Mhm.
them having to look at their tablet and then re-enter the order and stuff like that. Um, and so this digital ordering is what I'm interested in. But you were saying there are other offerings. Was delivery. And
Mhm.
so this one I didn't really read about. Enable
Yeah.
delivery from your sites and apps are innovatively offering to own your customer relationships. It looks like they provide service. Like this is the Rails part that I'm interested in, integrating and control third party certified by. Yeah, I'm not dispatch enable. Yeah, it looks like I would pretty much be competing with you get it from point A to point B on demand delivery which means that they might hate on me and not want to give me access to their rails. But I mean, that's just a different product offering.
Yeah, but so here's the thing.
Because this is what
Um,
I'm interested in. This right here.
so do you know if their APIs are integrated, if the ordering and the delivery are integrated, or whether you can just place orders and then you have to go pick it up? You get what I mean? because it might actually be integrated and you don't know that. Maybe what you could try doing is just maybe if they have an API, get their API, try and just make a few calls and see how that goes, right? You don't
Yeah.
have to explicitly tell them this is exactly what I'm building, right? But at least just try things out and see, read their documentation. Maybe they will specify there. Maybe they'll say, okay, no, you can call the order creation separately, and then this is how you would get your token for delivery and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I already sent them a contact. I clicked on the contact and filled out the form, so they have to call. Hopefully, they'll call me back.
Okay. Just say you want to integrate with them. You don't have to tell them the details of why you want to integrate. Um, like one thing that I think gets lost on people, and I think you have to be that way as well, is for the longest time, Facebook has this motto, this nefarious motto, but the motto has helped them grow, which is move fast and break things, right? That means that even if you think something may break out down the road, right? Just move fast and just try it out and see where that goes. So, right,
Isn't that contrary to technical debt?
yeah, but
You slow down to a grinding halt.
no, but look at it from a software engineering perspective. Yes, that is technical debt. But then the problem is people assume that technical debt and speed are two ends of a spectrum, and it's not so. You can actually move at a very fast pace without accruing technical debt, and you can actually move at a very slow pace and accrue even more technical debt.
This is true.
So, so yeah, it's all about how skilled the developer is. That determines whether or not, or how much technical debt you will accrue. Depends on what your architecture is like, and so on and so forth. So that said, from a business standpoint, you want to be able to fail fast, right? So fail fast meaning that you want to be able to try as many things as you can, and if it fails, you get back. So one way or the other, something is going to work, but you may not know whether it's the thing you are working on right now. So that's why failing fast is very important. The last part of it as well is if you are asking for permission, right? You might end up being stuck on things that you could have just walked past, right? And you see this happen with Uber, you see this happen with Facebook. They just implement features and just go ahead with it and just see where that takes them. And then some features make it, some features don't make it. But it's almost always after the fact that we now call for, oh, this needs to be regulated. Oh, Facebook, you shouldn't be allowed to do this, you shouldn't be allowed to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you are sitting down waiting to get like permission, right? Then you're opening yourself up for like business politics and all those kind of stuff. But if you just move fast, right? Maybe by the time Olo Reels realizes that, oh, this guy is competing with us, it's already too late. You're already big. You feel me?
Yep.
Something similar happened here in Nigeria. So what happened was initially because you can imagine a country of almost 200 million people, right? There's a lot of business that goes on in the country, and initially that was purely the domain of the banks. And then some really smart guys went and got funding from Silicon Valley and came and set up fintech companies, right? So we're talking the likes of Flutterwave, Paystack, etc. Now, because the people who created these companies are young, entrepreneurial people, the banks overlooked them. The banks was like, yeah, whatever. It's no big deal. They can be doing what they're doing. Oh, you need APIs, take APIs. You need this, take this, because they didn't see them as a threat. Only for PayPal to acquire one of them. No, I know Square acquired one of them for what is essentially the worth of 3 banks combined. And then the banks now realize that, oh shit, these guys are actually bigger than us. and that was when the war started. But it's kind of a little bit late because now those guys are very big and now they're not duking it out. So the banks are now fighting with the fintech companies, and the fintech companies are looking for ways to fight back. So it's just an interesting case study in terms of business that I think you need to adopt, which is you need to be as, I won't say ruthless is not the word, but you need to be as oblivious to barriers as possible, right? So you look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a classic example of that. Like the guy doesn't see barriers, he just does things. SEC comes and says, "Oh no, you can't say this on a podcast, blah blah blah. You are influencing the stock market." Then he now switches over to crypto and says Dogecoin, and he makes money from that. Or he says, "Oh, Tesla has bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin," and then everybody invests in Bitcoin, and he quietly sells it. Things like that.
Yeah, I mean, so Elon, Steve Jobs, I mean, they're really cult leaders.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, their followers will do it. Like,
True, true. So, but then, what do you think they have in common? It's pretty much exactly what I said. In the sense that they don't have any regard for barriers and obstacles. They just assume that those obstacles will not be there by the time they get there. So I think that should be your mindset in terms of integrating with these Olo Rails, for example. Just assume that there won't be any barriers. Just go ahead, get their API, integrate with them, and let the barriers come later. Let it turn out that later they say, "Oh no, we can't give you this API because XYZ, APC 123 or whatever." But you never know. Olo Rails may see you as, "Oh, this is just a small developer community. Okay, this is, Scott is part of our developer ecosystem. Yes, let's give him APIs, let's give him access and stuff like that, right?" And only when you now become big do they now realize that, "Oh shit, we shouldn't have done that." You know.
well, I know I should be optimistic, but like, I'm not. I don't think I'll be on anyone's radar anytime soon. But yeah, but I get it though, because I
Yeah.
mean, I think that's like what Uber did with lawmakers or
Hmm.
regulators. They just literally wrote in their software, um, if the person signed in has a name that matches this blacklist of regulators, then return service not available. Like, I was watching a documentary on them, and like that's how they were getting around regulators at the time,
Wow, that's crazy.
and they kept
That's
pushing
really good.
forward. So
So yeah, it's pretty much the same thing here. It's pretty much the same thing. Well, for me, speaking of beach delivery, I know I haven't really done much in terms of the UI and stuff. Even the build pipeline, I've still not finished that as well. But most of the work I've done is mostly backend. So I worked on the data access, some of the API infrastructure. I added some tests, um, just to make sure that at least we have something that is stable right off the bat. But there's still a lot to be done. Um, so I'm just looking to. I was planning to stream earlier today, but a lot of things came into the picture, so I had to shift it probably towards the evening and stuff. So.
yeah. So do you think it's because you just do this like one Sunday a week, right?
Mm. Um, I'm thinking of changing my approach maybe a little bit. Um, I think right now there's a lot of instability, both at my job, in my life presently, some family stuff, even with my health as well. But my plan would be to just pick one weekend, right? So I will still be doing it every Sunday, but maybe a particular weekend, I'll just work on it throughout, see how much I can accomplish in, say, 3 days. Um, I know I can do it because I've actually done it before. I've done an interview before that was like, "Hey, build us this platform in 3 days," right?
Hmm.
And I coded around the clock and I was able to deliver it. So now, was it pleasant? Hell no, but it was doable. So
Have you ever in the past had the daily ritual of like half an hour a day,
No, no.
kind of like a workout? Okay, because
Eh,
I mean that's what I've been doing for like the past 2 years. Is basically
okay.
like a brick per day until you have
Mm.
like a shack, and then like a trailer, right, and then like a studio apartment. That's pretty much what I've been doing, but I just stepped it up a lot since now like I'm in between contracts.
Mm.
So now I work a lot more on this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty much. Part of the reason for me, I have not been able to do that up until recently is um, mostly due to the fact that until just maybe January or February to be precise, I have been constantly, looking for projects, working on projects, trying to raise money by any means necessary. But all of a sudden, for the first time in March, or rather in April, right, I was free from those things, which was like, extremely, I was extremely happy to be in that situation for the first time in, say, 8 months, which is cool. But yeah, so hopefully my plan is to um is to build on that. So yeah. Yeah. Then also I started looking at something as well. I know it's going to sound crazy, but um, have you taken a look at like blockchain technologies, cryptocurrencies, those kind of things?
Yeah, I used to own 118 Bitcoin uh several
Whoa!
several years
What
ago.
happened? What happened?
I liquidated it before it skyrocketed. So I owned it when it was like $260.
Wow!
Yeah,
Should I tell you something that will shock you?
what's that?
Bitcoin is still going
Or
to
or
go
or
higher.
was it five? Maybe I owned it when it was $500. I can't remember the price when I owned it, but I had like 118 of them back in 2014.
Whoa! You know
They
what I
were, I
said
mean,
so? You know what I said so? Why I said you know so now Bitcoin is falling, which is a good thing.
is
And the
it?
reason,
Because it was at like $58,000 yesterday.
let me check. Let me see BTC.
Yeah, it's at almost $58,000. They
Hmm.
rallied.
Okay. Okay. So it's currently at 57. So that means it fell to like 49. Yeah, and it picked up. Okay. But still, the reason I said so is that I think everybody is waiting for Bitcoin to crash so that they can start um, buying again. And the reason for this is that there's a finite amount of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is not going anywhere. So given enough time, it will become very, very expensive, right? That's a given. But at the same time, it's like,
It is very expensive. I mean, but you could buy fractional, right? So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, sure, sure. So you don't have to buy one full Bitcoin for it to make sense. I think a better unit to think of Bitcoin at this point is think of it in micro Bitcoin, right? So a micro Bitcoin, that's 0.01 of a Bitcoin. If you can buy like two or three of those, trust me, it will make a lot of sense in future. Maybe not now, maybe in the next 5, 10 years.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, what's the point of doing that though? If you can literally buy like $5 worth of Bitcoin, which is like 0.00000 something percent of one Bitcoin, like
mhm.
why would someone buy some some forked over version that they call micro Bitcoin? But it's
No, 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 no. Micro Bitcoin is the same as Bitcoin. The what I no, okay, let me put it this way. Instead of thinking of it in terms of one Bitcoin, two Bitcoin, three Bitcoin, you should think of it in terms of one micro Bitcoin, two micro Bitcoin, 10 micro Bitcoins, 50 micro Bitcoins. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Because if you are thinking of one Bitcoin, it will feel like so much money that you can't really raise, right? But if you think of it in terms of fractions of your Bitcoin, like defined fractions of your Bitcoin, then it makes it more palatable to invest. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Oh yeah, yeah, I get it.
Mm.
So
Because as it's going, right, we are currently in a huge bubble, and when that bubble bursts, which inevitably will happen very soon, probably in 2020. My guess is probably 2021, 2022, 2023. It is going to burst. When it does, is almost all the economies are going to be dragged down, and people will be forced to sell off their Bitcoin assets, which means Bitcoin itself will also fall down too. Once that happens, that is the time to be buying Bitcoin. What's funny? What's funny is if after I've said this thing, it happens exactly how I said it, and then people start referencing this podcast as as proof that I'm some kind of Nostradamus. Wouldn't that be wild?
well, no, because this my YouTube channel only averages like 3 viewers, and so no one's going to even know that you even prophesied this.
Well, I could just who knows, maybe when it does happen, right? We can just put a link or just take a snapshot of the video, put a link to the original podcast there, and then that's how it will go viral. You never know.
Yeah, well, I was thinking like a couple hours ago that I was going to find the video where, like 2 years ago, um, I made the declaration that I would build a beach delivery
Mhm.
system. And I want to find that video from like 2 years ago after I launch. So,
Mm. Yeah, that would be good too. That would be cool as well. That would be cool.
I told you the the vision for, yeah, we had a conversation about emergency response.
Hmm.
Yeah, we did. Okay. Yeah, that's still like in my mind once I get all this stuff field tested,
Mm.
and then selling the software as a service, and to incorporate the part that you're working on and like selling it to
Mm.
a government contractor. Still keep the rights to it, but
Okay.
so let me know what you think about this. But the whole software as a service back end that they can subscribe to, aka this multi-tenancy, managed order fulfillment, whatever. Um,
Mm.
I'm sure there's a lot of government contractors that obviously work with government agencies, but
Mm.
they don't have the intellectual know-how or intellectual property to bid on contracts that require order fulfillment and tracking. And
Mm.
so um, there's a couple options, like get more serious about government contracting and go after those contracts that focus on order fulfillment and tracking, or target government contractors and sell them the intellectual, not really sell them ownership of the intellectual property, but sell them the software as a service to do as they please under whatever software license for like 250 $300,000, and they could
Mm.
still they could still bid on multi-million-dollar projects,
Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah.
like get that money, give you your share, and just keep doing it. Like just try to monetize this as much as possible based on as many channels that we can identify.
Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That does make sense. So
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
I don't really have too much else to add.
No, I think for me, now that I have a little bit of time, I think the best thing for me would be to try and get a version up that is stable, that integrates with the environment. Because in a way, I feel like I'm the one holding the project back. Because if, say, a company just walks up to us now and says, "Hey, come and deploy this," they don't have any admin interface that they can use. So it's like, unless we have something to show them, that even if it's not complete, even if it's um, even if it's partial, right? It beats hella having nothing at all. You understand?
Yeah,
So,
and that's the other part. Um, get some business card, get a deck of business cards with QR codes on them.
mm,
Hit the strip, pass it out to business owners, and when they scan the QR code, it takes into a video demo
mm,
of how it works for both the the customer scenario,
mhm,
the courier scenario, and then hopefully like it whenever you finish that portal, the 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 business management like usage. And so instead
mhm.
of like trying to tell them what it is, I just give them a business card with the QR code. They scan it, and then they just see the software demonstration, and
Yeah,
then like I have to have a website where they can just go in and then like apply to be an affiliate or a
mm,
partner, and then I charge them $1 for a 3 month trial.
okay,
Record all the transactions, if any, that go through that system, and then at the end of their trial, then charge them probably like a $50 or $100 a month subscription.
okay.
Let me know what you think.
Yeah, it
But I
makes
think the
sense.
QR codes is it, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Another thing you could also do as well is, if you have partners, and then you could put the QR code, although they may not like that, but it depends. You could put the QR code in the store itself. So, say somebody comes to pick up an order, they see, oh, download the app, beach delivery. They scan it, then they get the app. Because I feel like you have a chicken and egg problem. If you have lots of customers, so you need lots of customers to really entice the businesses, and you need businesses to on your platform to make it appealing to customers. So it's like a chicken and egg problem. Now you can crack the chicken by getting signing up one or two stores, right? But then once you have that chicken, you have to use the fact that you have the chicken to lay eggs that help you bring more chickens. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so that's the other part is there's a couple things, and like someone told me that I'm doing too much, but the thought process is you have dedicated QR codes, right? And so a
Mm,
dedicated QR code is, or translated, a restaurant QR code,
mm-hmm,
right? And so each
mm-hmm,
restaurant has their own unique QR codes that they could pass out, and it would, when it gets scanned, it would deep link to their restaurant menu on the app,
mm-hmm,
right? And then if the user wanted to step out of that menu and look at all the other menus from other restaurants, they could do that. But when they pass out, like say they hit the beach or the park,
mm,
um, it would, and someone on the beach would scan it, then it'll go straight to that restaurant menu.
mm,
And I say this because when you say you need a chicken to lay more eggs to produce more chickens, it's how do I scale this where I don't have to do all the marketing? It's a self-fulfilling marketing by
mm,
getting the sellers to do the marketing for me and
mm,
hold them responsible for generating business instead of me trying to do it. But
Yeah,
she
yeah.
told me that does it. She told me that she's skeptical because she said that now restaurants are responsible for going to the beach and passing out cards and bothering people. And I didn't really look at it that way, but I can understand why she would say
No,
that.
no. I think you need both. You need both. You need the restaurants to have the ability to deep link and market it by themselves. But more importantly is that you need to, because these restaurants already have a customer base, right? Otherwise they wouldn't be in business. Which means that getting your app into the hands of those initial customers is critical. Beyond getting new customers, those guys are already invested in those um, restaurants already. So they are more likely to want to use
Oh
the app, and
shit!
they're more,
You're
well,
right. They have customer loyalty
exactly.
that now they can use that loyalty on the beach.
Hmm.
That's pretty genius. I never even considered that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think, and for the person saying you're doing too much, I don't think so. I think, like I said earlier, fail fast, right? What I mean by fail fast means uh, putting as much effort as you can, and when a particular aspect doesn't work, you quickly pivot, as opposed to sitting down and trying to come up with the best perfect plan for the solution. Do you get what I mean? Just throw as much as you can against the wall.
I get what you mean, but I feel like that whole fail fast. I feel like that's when you already have software out there that's being used, and it's based on fail fast on features. But for an MVP, it's like there's a fine line between producing something that people won't take you seriously and they'll laugh at you or ignore you because it just doesn't look professional at all, and you expect them to take out their bank card and give you money for it and it looks very suspect. Like that's the part where like I feel like I have to make it look professional enough to earn their trust.
Have you seen the very first version of Facebook?
No.
You can Google it. First version of Facebook.
Okay, I'll do it right now.
Yeah, you need to see that.
I'm going to share my screen and do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you check, let's see, we need an image of it. So maybe you should go through image search instead. Nah, that's it. Scroll down. This was the first version of Facebook,
Okay.
but people don't know. Very few people even know that this is what Facebook looked like. So the point here is that's why you say fail fast. It doesn't mean fail. Fail fast means ship something, right? And then improve upon it. Because every improvement, people have very short attention spans, man. So every improvement, they forget that the previous one was terrible, right? And this is how Facebook has evolved over time to where it is now. You understand what I'm saying? So back to what I was saying earlier. Um, you know, just don't worry about being professional right now. That will come with time, right? So as long as you're making quick updates, no, for real. As long as
I have to demo like I know what you're saying and I know the case study that you're referencing,
Mhm,
but these are these are business owners. These aren't
mhm.
teenage girls. There's a difference. They have they have high expectations and their time can't be wasted, right? And so if I'm going to ask them for their time so that I could try to sell them a partnership, like they have to know that I'm vested. I understand what you're saying. I'm just not buying into it at this stage. I feel like it's at a stage where it's out there and I have adopters and then I'm moving fast. breaking things and learning from it and making corrections and keep making adjustments or calibrations.
Mm.
Like I feel like it's
No,
a completely different market where
I,
that's applicable.
I get that, but you don't need, let me put it this way, you don't need, at this initial stage, you don't need all the businesses. You need like one or two that are really good, right? And out of maybe the 20 you do a demo for, maybe like two say, okay, fine, this your product doesn't look professional enough, but we trust you. We have faith in Scott that he can deliver, right? That should be your primary focus, because you know what can happen is by the time the product now becomes fully functional and very professional, you don't need to go back to the same people that rejected you before. You There are thousands of other businesses in other states, in other countries, that would be open to taking it. But essentially what I'm saying is you need that momentum going, because if you sit down and hope that you can gather or make it as professional as possible before you launch, you may, first of all, you may make assumptions as to what they actually want, and how the product will work in their hands, right? That's the first assumption. The second assumption is that you know that they told you no today doesn't mean that they will tell you no tomorrow. They may change to a yes when they see that it's more professional, right? And in fact, I feel like if they see that you're making like monumental progress, you're hitting your milestones, then companies that may still see some flaws in your software will be willing to jump on board, not because of the value of your company the way it is now, but because of the value they can see your company bringing in the future.
Yeah. Did you see the latest demo?
No.
No, I'll do it really fast. I'll share the video. Hold up. Uh, uh, yeah, it's this one over here. Hold up for a second. So, am I sharing my screen? Hold up.
Not yet.
Roman.
Mhm.
Roman is like one out of three people that actually view my stuff or observe my channel. So,
Just ignore things.
until it, we'll figure out how. I thought I demoed it. Hold up. Okay, it's over here. So then
Okay.
say order, which one thing is like I want to change this landing page. Like I'm okay with this, but like I think my vision is to have like a landing page that has a theme that has like four different quadrants on it, and each quadrant shows like a use case, like a tailgate party, the beach, and
Mhm.
then whatever the other two things are, a park and whatever. Um, I just don't know what that. I just don't know how to do that myself. Right. But anyway,
Hmm.
so I just courier subscribes. Let me turn this thing down. Courier subscribes. Order my faithful Denny's with the Oreo shake. I actually had that yesterday morning.
Nice. Nice. Inception video stream. Nice one, Roman.
Yeah. Thought I hit next. Okay. So then I say order.
Hmm.
Now, in reality, this would be a 3 mile radius. It would show couriers. But my emulator shows that it's located in like the state of Washington. So the courier is going to go from Washington State all the way to Miami Beach.
Okay.
So finding a courier. I have this timer in here that's working now for the amount of time they have before they can't cancel anymore. A side note is this timer is going to keep on going because this is a simulation, right? So it's probably going to
Mhm.
take a courier like 5 or 10 minutes to get to a pickup location. So it's okay that this timer keeps going, even though the courier accepted and is even picking up items at the at the restaurant. And so it launches on the courier app, it launches the route through Google Maps. And arrived at Denny's, and I did. All right, capture receipt.
Why do they need to capture receipt?
Captured. So for capturing the receipt, the thought process was to encourage the courier to check off that they have the right order and that they have the right items on the order. So it kind of
Mm,
like encourages them. One is when they capture the receipt, I'm going to store that receipt in case I
mm,
get audited, right? But the other
mm,
part is for them to be encouraged to do their due diligence to make sure that they have everything that that customer is supposed to have.
mm,
And it gives them an opportunity to hopefully look at the receipt and even though they're just uh, taking a photo of it, hopefully if something looks weird, then they can like mention it and have it corrected. I'm just trying to encourage them to look at the receipt
yeah,
regardless.
yeah,
So
that makes sense.
that's the motivation. Let me continue. It returns back to the route to bring it to the customer. Something that I probably will do is when it says find John, I think I'll add a map in here so it shows the actual position of the courier and the customer.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to do that. And then I just say over here, your order has arrived. Please make yourself visible. So then I say delivered. And then say 5 stars. That's for whatever reason, I got to figure out the latency, how to resolve the latency, because this will update or increment. The order has been delivered, rate delivery, and then put in whatever amount of stars. Send. Thank you for your business. Exit. All right. So then on the courier route, let me relaunch this so I could force a refresh of the homepage.
Dang, I liked when the app treated me like a veteran. It's like, thank you for your service. Anyways, it's coming together.
I believe so. All right. All right. So you see, I'll try to tackle this today, but we have one delivered $6 commission, right? So you click on that. We can now cash out. Here's the confirmation. Cash out $6 to Stripe Test Bank account ending in 6789. Available on 5/2/2021. Confirm. And it talks to Stripe Gateway. And I do a lot of validation so I don't get cheated. In the effort so that I don't get cheated. And then here's the receipt. $6 will be deposited bank account on whatever date.
Okay.
And that's it. Now, something that's weird. All right, so I guess I could stop sharing.
Mm,
And so, like, regardless of me not having like UX designer skills, like you see that it's coming,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's functional regardless of the cosmetic professionalism. So
Mm,
like that's why I'm kind of like putting in a lot more hours, especially when I was in Canada, to try to like get an MVP because it it's here and
yeah.
mm, it's something that most people just don't have. Is the market saturated with food delivery services? Yeah, with the head honchos, but like small business delivery food service, no, and very niche or niche areas, no. And so like the goal is to get acquired. That's the
Mm,
goal, right? And so hopefully interrupt enough where regulators notice me, the cartels notice me. I get put on the radar of Grubhub or Uber Eats or some other person that decides that they want to go in that space that has a lot of money. Cut a check. I cut you a check for the component that you did. I mean that's a vision. So hopefully like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully that gives you some uh what's the word I'm looking for? Some confidence that I am serious and I'm still pushing forward. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's a,
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Roman has got to run.
hey, no worries.
Yeah. Even me myself, I need to go out there. Quite a few things I wanted to do, and then when I come back around like 6 thereabouts, I will then stream what I currently have, and probably add more functionality um, to the application. So yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we'll catch up. See you.
All right.
Thanks.
So,
Bye.
bye.
Oh shoot, I almost killed this. Oh, how do I do this? Interception video stream. I'm just now reading that, Roman. Gotta go. See you another time. All right. Well, it sounds like you left already and I wasn't looking at it. I want to get this thing to compile before I tap out and go on my motorcycle ride. There's this service bus connection. Service bus connection. Okay. Using static. It doesn't like that. Data gateway using static. I don't think that'll work either. Data gateway. Nope. And it doesn't like that. Why don't you like that? Does this build independently? No. I thought. Okay. Are you going to build now? Yes. Boom. Hold up. Say open. And then you got to say, it should be utilities, right? They should get recognized. Data gateway. Okay. So what are the two things that fail? Hold up. Mm, Let me make sure I have both of them in here. Yeah. Open notifications dot. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway. Okay, so that builds. So then we could say edit notifications data gateway. OCD won't allow it. Okay. 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 Organized ports. Okay. So that's progress for this morning. I'm tapping out. I'm going outside. See ya. Bye.